Welcome
to Aiming for Ashes.
Aiming for Ashes.
I'm Aimee.
I'm Ashes.
And what episode are we on? 6? See, we don't even know,
sure.
guys.
Yeah, 6, I think.
6. Yep,
6.
We don't even know the episodes. But
We
today's
don't.
episode is going to be based off of aliens.
The extraterrestrials.
Do you believe or do you not believe? That is the question.
That is the question. Okay.
Do you think they're real? Do you think our government is hiding them from us?
I think our government hides everything from us.
I mean, 100%. They're like, here, look what's happening over here. And, let's let 50,000 aliens come in real quick. You know what I mean? Like,
and we're going to lock them up in Area 51.
Yeah, we're going to lock them down.
Then arrest you when you try to go look for them.
Exactly. But no, it's kind of interesting topic to talk about.
It is. It's very controversial.
Have you had any alien experiences?
Not that I can recall.
I, on the other hand, have.
0. Okay.
I have
Let's
had
hear it.
one experience in my life.
Were you probed in the butt?
I was not probed.
That's
I was not
unfortunate.
taken. But
I feel like if you're going to have an alien experience, you should be taken and probed.
I would have enjoyed maybe a little probing back then. I don't know. Sorry, Mom.
You'd probably still enjoy the probing. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
You said let's be honest. No, but let's get to my story, and then I want to get to some actual facts about aliens that you can look up yourself on the webs,
the interwebs,
the
webs of inters.
Sometimes you can dive deep into this, and I did. I dived real deep into this stuff at one point.
That's crazy.
But let me tell you about my little story. Where I live in Michigan, there's this beautiful tiny little town called Willis.
Like Willis or Sumter Township or something?
Yeah, it's it's a little tiny parcel in Michigan. There's a school. It's called Lincoln High School. Back when this all went down, Lincoln High School that they know of now was being built. So this was 20 years ago, I think. It was
so many years. 20 years ago. There's no way.
Yeah, it was. I was 21, 22 when this happened. Oh. So this was quite a while ago. And I often think about it and wonder if I was like if it really happened. But sure as shit, this really, 100%. God, hand to God, this happened. I am not lying. This is something I usually tell this story pretty funny so that people are laughing. But in all actuality, when it was going down and this all was happening to me, I was very scared. I had no idea what was going on. And all I could think of is, I want to get home and see my mom and dad. I don't know if I don't know what's going on. And then when I figured out what was going on, I was like, shit.
They're coming to take me away.
I always thought, growing up, because I had this, weird dot on my knee, and it was, a tiny little circle that had 3 little prongs in it. And it was there, throughout my whole childhood.
Yeah.
And I always remember looking at it and thinking, I think I was abducted by aliens. And I thought this when I was little, real little. I always thought this. Now, you can call me crazy. I don't care. I've been called worse, honestly. So fuck you. Anyway. So I was seeing this young gentleman, and he lived at home with his dad, and I, at that time, lived with my parents.
Well, yeah, you were, in high school, right?
No, I was 22.
Good. Okay.
So, I was not in high school. I was a young hot thing.
Yeah.
So, I found another young hot thing, and we didn't have any place to do the deed. Yeah. So, back then, as I said, Lincoln High School was being built. This was on Bemis Road. If you know, you know where I'm talking about, okay? It was dirt road back then. So, back then it was dirt. And there was this little wooded area. It wasn't very big. The wooded area didn't go deep into the field. It was just alongside the road. And it probably went out, I'd say 10 feet from the road, maybe 20 feet from the road, if that. But there was like a little carved out spot because it was like a construction turnaround zone for all the big trucks.
Oh, okay.
So they would like reverse back in there.
Meep, meep,
right, yeah.
Meep,
so
meep.
There was a little carved out area, and I knew about it, and it was a great place to take said situation and do the deed in the back of my car. At that time, I had a Ford Focus. If you know me, you know me.
A Focus.
Yes, I had a Focus. So I pulled up in there. And it's like a little horseshoe, right?
Yeah.
So I pulled around in a little circle, and I parked my car so that I could pull out. There's one way in, there's one way out.
Yeah.
And where my car's ass end was, I suppose, or the bumper, there was like a gated area. And it was like one of those, like, old farm gates, you know what I mean? Metal.
Yeah. Yep.
And then on that were chains. And on that chain, it said, do not enter. Mm-hmm. So obviously I wasn't going to enter there, so I just chilled. Nothing said that I couldn't be there, right?
Yeah.
So we do our thing, and he is a dad of like 2, I think, maybe 3 young kids under the ages of like 4. I think he had 3 kids under the age of 4. And so he was
he was busy.
He was a busy boy. He was a busy boy. Okay. So he was exhausted all the time. So after we did the deed in the back seat, he passed out, and I jumped up front and I grabbed a cigarette, and I'm sitting in my driver's seat with my window down smoking, and I look like, again, so one way in, one way out, my front end was pointed towards the
exit,
correct. Off in the distance, in the light, like in the sky, I see this, what I had thought was an airplane. You know, I didn't think anything of it. So I'm just sitting there smoking my cigarette, and then I dive down into my car to look for a roach. At that time, it was illegal to smoke weed, but whatever.
Not anymore. Whatever.
So I'm rifling through this little ashtray area that I'd throw all my roaches to try to find one that I could take a little hit off of. Now, the questions that I've been asked: how high were you? Were you drunk? No. First off, I was not drunk, and second off, if I'm looking for a roach, I wasn't high.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Trying to get all the little bits I can.
Right. So I was not anywhere near high.
Right.
Or drunk, because back then I never drunk and drove or drunk and drank and drive. I don't, whatever the fuck you say it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never did that.
Yeah.
Till a certain somebody. But anyways, that's your northern.
I was the DDD, guilty as charged.
So I was sitting there, and so I bent down. Now, so my head is down in my car.
Yeah.
And I'm rifling through, and as I pop up with this little roach, not lit.
It is dead in the water.
These lights are now in front of the opening. And at that point, this light is the brightest light I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, back then, people would go deer shining, if you know, you know, which you take a big ass bright light and you put it, you hang it out your passenger window or driver window, and you shine it on the deers. I don't know what they do after that.
They just stand there.
Yeah, I mean, I know the deer, right? Yeah, the deer stand there, but I don't know what the people with the lights do. If they kill them or whatever.
I hope not.
I would hope not either, but I'm assuming that's what they do. I have no idea.
It's if you guys Midwest know, version of cow tipping.
Right. 100%. I'm not even lying, but I'm pretty sure that's what they did. I don't know. There's a guy in Ohio. I don't know if he listens to this podcast, but maybe he could touch base with me on that. Anyways, so that's what I assumed it was. I was, or the cops.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were the brightest lights I've ever seen, but if it was the cops, there would have been other lights behind it, like a red and blue.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was I was scared. You know what I mean? I rolled my windows up and I locked my doors because I didn't know what was about to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
My heart, right now, is racing talking about this part. I was scared, scared out of my mind, and I just sat in the driver's seat because I, again, at that point, thought it was the cops. But what felt like an eternity, they sat there, but then I was like, okay, nobody's coming towards me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So fuck this. I jump in the back to the guy that's passed out in the back, and I'm smacking him.
Wake up.
Yeah, I'm wake up. If you know who I am, you know who I come from, you know how loud I can be. Okay? We are in a Ford Focus. Okay? That's how big this car is. Can you imagine how loud I'm screaming at him to wake him up?
You could hear it 3 counties away.
Correct. So I am smacking him at the same time, and he's not moving. As I jumped in the back, I was like hitting him, yelling his name, trying to get him up. He wouldn't wake up. And then when I, was able to like switch around to see the front again, the lights were gone. And I was like, what in the fuck is going on? And so then I start taking the dude, and now he is like laid in my back seat to where his head is on my back passenger door. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there, and I shit you not, in all seriousness, I am taking him, and he's not a big dude. He was actually one of the smaller dudes I've ever been with.
Yeah.
And I was taking him by his shirt, picking him up and slamming his head against the door, trying to wake him up. Like, I'm like, did my sex kill him? What is going on? At this point, I'm like, seriously, why is he not waking up? And then all of a sudden, the bright-ass lights are lowering down in the woods. Again, there's trees 10 feet to 20 feet away from the road.
Yeah.
Behind me. So, and like, kind of like circling me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these lights are coming down now where he is on the passenger side, but in the woods.
Oh, fuck
They're
that.
not like, and then I was like, okay, this is not somebody shining deers. This is not the cops. What is going on? Holy shit. It's the aliens.
Yeah.
Instantly, I was like, they're fucking, it's gotta be. This has gotta be aliens. And I was like, no fucking way. So I'm like shaking him as fast as I can shake him. And I'm like yelling his name as loud as I can yell it.
Yeah.
He would not wake up for nothing. And I'm like, fuck. So then these lights decided to make me really, really understand that these really aliens, and nothing other than aliens, they start moving in the woods behind me, like circling my car so that they're directly behind me at this point. Bitch, I jumped so fast in that front seat, fast in that front seat, I almost shit my pants. The dude, I'm still screaming, because the whole time I'm screaming, because I'm like fucking scared out of my mind. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I think I'm going to die, or I'm going to be abducted. You know what I mean? I'm going to get anal probed. And he's just fucking sleeping his brains out. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like literally white as a ghost, panicked. And the only thought in my mind was, am I going to see my family again? Yeah. Like, am I ever going to see my brothers grow up? Am I ever going to see what they are like as adults? Like, these thoughts were all running through my mind.
Yeah.
Because at this point, nobody knows where I'm at.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody in my family knows.
GPS is not a thing
back then there was nothing. No, I don't, I think there was cell phones. Yeah, there was. I don't know. Yeah, I had one. But I didn't even think about picking up my cell phone because we weren't used to them back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't like an attachment.
It wasn't an attachment at that point. So I'm like, fuck. So I turn I get in my seat. I don't even think I put my seatbelt on, y'all. Honestly. And that'd probably be the first time in my life. But I turned that motherfucking car on. And again, it was a Ford Focus. Okay? A Ford Focus. I think it was like a 2001. It was like the old style. So I'm like, punch that gas as fast as I can punch that gas, and I do a fishtail, like it was like one of my proud moments in driving, because I fishtailed out of that motherfucker, and like my whole ass end like skirt around on dirt road. I am squealing tires on dirt road.
That's awesome.
And I fly as fast as I can down Bemis Road. Mm-hmm. Now, where I'm located is not very far away from Whitaker to cross over.
Yeah.
The lights directly on my ass. As soon I mean, they are.
Fuck up.
I am panicking at this point. I am scared out of my effing mind. And the whole time, I'm like screaming his name, trying to wake him up. And then, like, I think that car went 120. I think it was as fast as that car went. And I hit 120 on that road before I hit Whitaker. And if anybody knows Whitaker Road, when you cross over, there's a stop sign.
Yep.
And then when you hit it, it's like a little boof, like your Dukes or Hazzarding over that shit, okay? So I did the
Yeah.
Crossed.
I
did the cross before I did this, and I looked both ways. I did not stop at that stop sign. I jumped that motherfucking Whitaker Road and I hit the other side of Bemis Road, and them lights went away. Instantly gone. Dipshit in the back woke up.
Motherfucker. They did that shit on purpose. They had him like
exactly
paralyzed or something.
Exactly. And to this day, I tell this story and people are like, this isn't true. You're lying. And I swear to God, I've never had a moment like this in my life that ever happened. And I'm not going to sit here and bullshit somebody and lie about this story. First off, I'm not going to tell you about my sexual experiences because that's what that was. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you where I did the deed,
right?
And just let you know. But 100% that happened. Now, do you believe in aliens? I know I do.
I do to an extent. Like it's hard for me to believe that we're the only species in existence. Like knowing how much crap is out there in space. Like there's no way that it's just us. Like there's no way.
Girl, it's not just space. They're in the water.
Well, yeah, no, fuck that too.
They are in the water. Like that's like, okay, so I've been like deep diving kind of into like the government end of all of this. And the first sighting of a UFO in the United States of America was 1952. And it was by some people that were on a boat. And this person wrote it down. Back then they had, diaries. That's where they kept all their information.
Especially if they were on the water, just
right. And but there were other people and they made sure to say that they weren't drunk, which I thought was funny.
That's hilarious.
They were sober.
Everybody was back then, though. So like, yeah, it makes sense.
I know. So they were like, these were sober individuals that I think it was in Massachusetts, and they said that they were they seen really 3 big, huge, bright lights in the sky, and that was the first like sighting of aliens in America. Now recently in 2024, there was a gentleman that David Koresh, I think I might have said his name wrong.
Yeah, no, David Koresh was definitely Waco, Texas.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, my bad. What? Hold on.
It's like Garish or something like that. Starts with a G. He said David Koresh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Grush.
Like
David
Crush, right? With the G.
Right. David Grush. He did a whole. I mean, we just paused for a minute so that I could have We paused so that Ashley could watch the hearing that they had. These. What was it? 3 or 4 gentlemen?
It was 3 of them.
Yeah, and
they used to work for the government. They
were discussing real life events. That one of the gentlemen was talking about how he was in 2004 in he was flying an airplane in San Diego,
something like that,
San Francisco, and he saw what they call a tic tac. So what that meant was it looked just like a tic tac. And it was flying, and he couldn't believe his eyes, essentially.
I would have crapped myself.
And I know that there are other instances, I can't say that word.
Instances?
Yes, that they discuss in that hearing. But I just feel like there's a lot more going on with this subject, with the United States of America. And almost, I'm going to say all over the world.
I was going to say, yeah, it definitely affects more than just us at this point.
I've heard of situations where people were abducted by aliens and then brought back, and they've told their stories.
I know that happened a lot, like in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, because the aliens were interested in us.
That's because all the fucking hippies were around.
Yeah, that's true.
the fun people.
Right. So I think I'm not 100% if there has been any recently, but I do know.
Well, they were just talking about that thing that happened on the East Coast in Massachusetts where everybody was filming all those fucking lights that were going all over the place, and everybody's like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
They're like drones. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, and it's not drones. They are aliens or extraterrestrials, so to speak.
John.
Am I scared of them? No. I wouldn't be scared if aliens came into our world. It'd be a little crazy. I'm sure there's going to be bajillions of people that will freak out if one lands and is like, hey, let's have a conversation.
I come in peace.
Right. Like, nano. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we are on the cusp of this. Yeah. I think it's going to happen. I know that in that interview that they did, that David Grush did, I feel like he spoke about a time back in 1930 where they interviewed an alien, or an extraterrestrial, and they recorded it, and there is a recording out there somewhere of this alien, and he states that, we are heading in the wrong direction as a world. In 50 to 60 years from now, your world is going to
blow up.
Not blow up, just be corrupt.
And it already is. It's already corrupt.
That's what I'm saying. That's 50 or 60 years is now.
Yeah.
And
touché.
They said, he said like the technology that we are going to encounter is technology like you wouldn't believe.
AI.
Like back in 1930, this alien was saying this. So he could see the future. He's probably already been to the future and came back to let us know that this is what's going on and we need to heed his advice, and nobody listened to him. I don't know what they did with that.
They probably just cut him up and experimented on him.
Right, and that's sad to think about because that's a being. You know what I mean? No matter what, that's still a being. And I know people are going to be like, oh man, you're going to go to hell for this because you think some crazy shit. I don't care. I mean,
it's called an opinion for a reason, bro.
Right. Like
it's not the Bible over here.
Right.
Preaching gospels.
I know. I just feel like extraterrestrials have been around for many, many decades. Back before
I mean, like I could
BC,
see if it was
you know what I mean?
Right,
like
if it was
I feel
one
like
or
they
two.
are the ones who built the pyramids. How the hell are those pyramids getting built with some, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Think about it. Back then,
they had strings and wood.
That's it. How did they build it that high?
Miracles.
No. Not miracles. I'm just saying, like, right, I guess God could have came down. I don't know. I mean, if you believe in that, you believe in that, but this is what I'm believing. Like, I feel like the aliens or extraterrestrials have been around for a very long time.
What if they're disguised as humans?
I feel like they are, dude. I mean, if you look at like a regular, I don't want to say this on the air. Never mind.
Do it.
Nope.
Say it.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. I will get shunned.
Open the can of worms.
I'm not opening it.
Let it open.
But anyways, if you look at aliens, some of them can fit into human bodies. Now,
yeah, like you ever watched Men in Black? Them little baby ones.
Not even that. I'm talking about like the bigger ones, like. And I feel like the movie Men in Black came from somebody knowing something from somewhere, somehow.
Touché.
And honestly, that is what the DOJ in that interview was talking about. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They were talking about the government officials that run, like, Area 51. You know what I mean? Like, the people that are in there, the things that they do or have done. The hundreds of presidents that have known about Area 51 and what they... I mean, this happened back in 1930. So, how many presidents has that been? Like, you can go ahead and take the count.
Probably
I'm not going to do.
I don't know what number we're on.
Right.
Like 74 or something.
Something like... Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like every president that I've ever known has known about or have heard or had some type of knowledge of this situation.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nervous. That's like makes me nervous. Is a little nerve-wracking because...
Well, I mean, it also comes back to like if they're hiding shit like that, like what else are they keeping from us?
Right.
Because I mean, we're not stupid.
No.
Obviously, they're not keeping Area 51 as locked down as they are for no reason.
Correct.
There's got to be something somewhere. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean?
And these gentlemen...
And then when the fact that we're like, oh yeah, everybody, we're going to storm Area 51, they're like, yeah, we're going to fucking shoot you on sight. Like,
right. You come anywhere near, you're going to die.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, and these gentlemen risked their lives to let the American people know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And touche to them. You know what I mean? Hats off. Like, I commend them for doing that.
Yeah.
But it also, like, solidified everything I ever believed. You know what I mean? And you can't always believe what you hear.
Well, yeah.
But honestly, video after video and, you know, it's hard not to.
Well,
believe.
yeah. I mean, like if it was only like one or two different instances, I'd be like, okay, yeah, well, maybe sure.
But
like it's consistent.
Yes, there was like 800 back
throughout the decades. Like it doesn't stop.
2004. I don't know. There was 800 sightings because that's when we started getting cell phones. You know what I mean? Cell phones and camera phones were starting to be huge back then, and people were taking videos of the skies and what was in it, and lo and behold, bam, there you go.
And then we've got better equipment for like telescopes and shit like that.
And drones now, like the things that people are seeing on drones, I'm sure if you know what I mean, is probably insane. At somebody somewhere has had to have seen something. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then like I remember the last vacation I took with my ex that was like a family vacation. We always took one at the end of August. We would go to Outer Banks. And at the time, my brother-in-law, him and I used to sit on the deck and smoke cigarettes and weed. And we had a conversation once, and he was like, I shit you not, I was sitting here one night, you know, hanging out, smoking a cigarette, and all of a sudden, from the water, he seen something come up. And we were by an air base at that time.
Okay.
So I'm in like 100% believing that the government wholeheartedly is working hand in hand with the aliens. Like that's what I think. I feel like they are in our oceans. You can't tell me that they're not. You can't
go far enough to figure out whether we can or can't.
Exactamundo.
You know?
Right. So if there is no proof of it, okay, cool. But you cannot tell me otherwise that they're not down in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they have been with us this whole time. And they've been in our oceans, and they also live in outer space, and they travel to and fro. You know what I mean? That's what I've always thought. That's why I don't go in the ocean, girl.
You know, there's too many creatures and critters in there.
Exactly.
It's not my cup of tea.
I know, right? I just
stay on the land where it's a little bit safer.
I dipped my little toes in it. I did go swimming a little bit, but
get a little salty.
Yeah, that the thought of it was always there. You know what I mean? It's always in the back of my mind.
Well, yeah, and then like every once in a while you'll get like that little seaweed that'll like tickle your leg, and you're like,
you're like, aliens!
I'm fucking being drowned. They're pulling me in.
Help me, Lord. But no, I mean, on a real level, like it's not something that a lot of people are going to agree with me on. Sorry, Mom.
You know.
I know a lot of people are going to probably look at me a little differently, and I don't care. Like, look at me differently all you want.
Right.
I am who I am. I'm not changing. This happened to me when I was 22. I am 45. So that's how many years that this happened, how many years ago this happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was right around the same time of the sighting in San Francisco that the gentleman was talking about the Tic Tac.
That's trippy.
Yeah, because I had my car was, I believe it was a 2004. I think my first car was a 2004 Ford Focus. And I believe I got it in 2003. And I believe it was in between these two, 2003, 2004 that this happened to me.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think about, like how
I've never had anything like that, but I also don't really like.
And like, how many people think that they're really shooting stars? Like, I get that they're shooting stars. I get like the scientific thing behind it,
right? But
also, in the back of your mind, do you think sometimes those shooting stars are just aliens shooting across the sky?
Maybe.
Right, like these are thoughts.
Intriguing.
Makes you wonder.
I like thinking. Like
I always try to think outside the box.
Yeah.
I've always been an outside the box type of thinker.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the outside of the box thinking isn't too far off on this one.
I don't think it is. There's no. I personally feel like there's no way that there's not something other than just us.
Because when we first started this podcast, sitting down before I had you watch that, you were a little skeptical.
I am. I definitely think that there's definitely more concrete evidence behind backing it now that I've watched that. But
right, and you could watch more of that. There's a whole
rabbit hole.
I mean, I think that it's like longer than shit. I feel like they were in there for like 4 hours.
Oh, I believe it.
That was only like a 2-hour snippet of it. Yeah, I mean, and then you can watch his News Nation.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did like.
I was watching that when you walked in, and I know he says more on that than he does. And I know he talks about how he's worried about him and his wife. And you heard him say that about him and his wife.
Yeah, because he said him and his wife, like, actually, like, both of them saw something and they were deeply disturbed, I believe is what his words were.
Yeah, deeply disturbed. Exactly. Scary. It is kind of scary because they're not going to look like a human. They're going to look weird. They're probably going to be scary looking. And that's the part that the humans, us as humans, can't wrap our brains around.
We probably look like fucking weird meat bags to them too, you know?
I mean, honestly, think about it. But I guess to wrap up the show, I suppose, do you believe or do you not believe? That is the question.
That is the question. Let us know.
Yeah.
If you have experiences, shoot us an email.
Yeah, if you ever had an
Messages
experience.
on Facebook.
Right.
Leave a comment on YouTube.
There you go. How about, you know, maybe shoot us a little message. Little message.
Send us some.
Yeah, a little send us a little
some.
Yay or nay, do you believe or don't you believe? I believe they've been here for years. As I said as a child, I thought aliens abducted me then. Or, I don't know. It's a weird situation, honestly.
It's very weird.
I mean, why would I have a little circle with 3 prongs in it on my knee for most of my childhood? It is gone now.
Oh.
Because I outgrew it.
Oh, trippy.
It is kind of trippy.
Trippy.
And I didn't have any, like, hospital visits. I wasn't a kid that was in the hospital or needed, like, knee surgery or any of that. So there would be absolutely no reason that would be there.
Yeah, no, that is...
222.
What does that mean?
What does
222 mean?
It's an angel number.
Oh.
Did you want to know the definition of what 222 means?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to Google that because I do not remember.
Oh, okay.
In numerology, the number 222 is often referred to as an angel number and is associated with themes of balance, harmony, and new beginnings, especially in relationships and partnerships. You and I. It can signify. Thank you. That positive change and opportunities are on the horizon, particularly in your personal and professional life.
Wow.
Here's a more detailed breakdown. I mean, I could keep going. But it's 222 often appears as a message to maintain balance, harmony in your life, both internally and externally. Faith and trust. It encourages you to have faith and trust in yourself and the universe, especially when facing challenges.
Wow.
Seeing 222 can indicate that new relationships, opportunities, or situations are coming into your life. Intuition. It may be a nudge to listen to your intuition and inner voice as they hold valuable insights.
Trust your gut, ho.
Divine guidance. Some interpret it as a sign from your guardian angel or higher power offering support and guidance. Ooh, there's a career and work. In professional content, it can represent collaboration, teamwork.
Look at us.
And a need to work together efficiently.
We're so efficiently collaborating.
I know, this is so great. So
look at us go.
I see repetitive numbers a lot. I feel like that intunes me to the other side a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm following and just trusting these ways that I'm going.
You know?
You gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, that just tells me that this episode was supposed to happen.
It was. Aliens. They're real.
They are.
Take a picture next time you see one.
I'm going to keep my phone in my hand. Phone in my hand.
Just going to hot glue it right there.
You know where I'm not going to go? The ocean.
Yeah, fuck that deep sea horse shit.
Bullshit.
Not today, Satan. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. No, ma'am, no ham. Mm-mm.
So, I want to thank you for listening to episode 6 of Aiming for Ashes.
Yeah, we got a little weird today. You're welcome.
Yep. If you like it, let us know.
If you don't let us know.
I mean, you can too.
You can just listen anye.
Yeah, just listen to our beautiful voices.
Keep going.
You guys all have a beautiful evening. Day.
Bye-bye.
Whatever your listening time.
See you later, alligators.
Adios.